Welcome to MxGP, the channel for all things motocross. From the latest news to exclusive content, we've got you covered. Whether you're a seasoned rider or a fan of the sport, we'll bring you the stories that matter most. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest content. And for our returning viewers, thank you for your continued support. And please support me by sending a little super thanks.
Today's Atlanta Supercross will be the fifth visit to Atlanta Motor Speedway, which Monsterenergy AMA Supercross first visited in 2021. The 2023 event will be the 13th 450SX round of the championship, and the 7th 250SX East Region round. In the 450SX class, Eli Tomac enters with a 7-point lead on Cooper Webb as the duo battles for their respective third 450SX title. Chase Sexton is still lingering in third as he looks to close up his 25-point deficit to Tomac. Sexton has ridden well here in the past, but he has had costly mistakes as he has yet to win at this venue. Tomac and Webb both have claimed at least one win here at the Speedway. Capitalizing on Sexton's mistake last year was Jason Anderson. In the first four 450SX main events races at this venue entering today, we have seen 4 different winners. In the 250SX, Hunter Lawrence has been the man to beat this year, as the number 96 has claimed 5 wins in the 6 races so far. He enters today with a full race-worth points gap back to Nate Thrasher, who is the only other winner in the region so far to date. At the Detroit Supercross on March 18th, Thrasher moved to P2 in the standings after a rough night from both Max Anstie and Jordan Smith. Another rider to note on the Daytona-esque track is Jeremy Martin. He said yesterday he has been riding motocross and is looking forward to racing at this venue for the first time. And one final note is that Joe Shimoda will be making his 2023 season debut after a collarbone injury kept him sidelined for the start of the season. Free practice. Our first look at on-track action showed there are some big doubles, as well as 2 sand sections, some high-speed sections, an off-camber, and the back-to-back whoop sections is tough. Fans are starting to funnel as the sun is shining down. In the 250SX group of free practice, it was Joe Shimoda topping the board in his season debut. Shimoda topped the field as Jordan Smith, Hunter Lawrence, Jeremy Martin, and Hayden Deegan rounded out the top 5. Smith and Tom Vial were each P1 in the session at some point before Shimoda eventually claimed the spot. All 5 of the top riders had their best time on the final lap of the session, so watch for times to keep dropping each session as riders figure out the fast lines and find a rhythm. In the 450SX group of free practice session, Eli Tomac's 1 minute and 34.699 seconds was the top time of the session. Tomac was followed closely by Adam Cianciarulo, Jason Anderson, Chase Sexton, and Cooper Webb. As with the previous sessions, riders were figuring out lines each lap. Combine qualifying session. The gates dropped for the start of the second 250SX Group A qualifying session. It was Hayden Deegan and Nate Thrasher side by side out front. Joe Shimoda swung inside from the very outside and almost pulled off exiting the turn in first, but the Yamaha duo drifted wide hitting the first jump and pulled ahead. It was Thrasher and Hunter Lawrence leading the field around. Thrasher had the fastest first full lap, a 1 minute and 32.752 seconds. As Lawrence ran second both on track and on the results, with a 1 minute and 35.577 seconds. Jeremy Martin ran third with a 1 minute and 38 seconds. Lawrence and Martin were both airing out the single before going through the over-under bridge. Cullen Park and Max Anstie had a run in. Anstie got up limping back to his bike but would continue through the session. Back out front, Lawrence and Thrasher were hitting the quad line in the rhythm section after going over the over-under bridge. Thrasher dropped his time to a 1 minute and 29.944 seconds, as did Lawrence to a 1 minute and 29.989 seconds as they went back and forth both on the results and on the track. When the checkered flag flew, it was Thrasher's time that topped the session and gave him P1 overall on the day. As the second 450SX Group A qualifying session began, the gates dropped, and Grant Harlan caught a tough block and went down in the first turn. Justin Barcia got the fake hole shot and lead the field around as the sun continued to shine down on the track. Barcia's 1 minute and 30.980 seconds was the fastest first lap, followed by a 1 minute and 33.541 seconds by Josh Hill. Cooper Webb was on a heater and put down a 1 minute and 28.576 seconds, which moved him up to P2 as Chase Sexton dropped a 1 minute and 28.563 seconds, just barely edging Webb. Moments later, Jason Anderson put down a 1 minute and 28.274 seconds to move into P1. Tomac and Webb set out one after another for heaters. The checkered flag waved and a 1 minute and 28.064 seconds from Sexton topped the field. Sexton earned his 11th fastest overall qualifier of this season. On the last lap, Adam Cianciarulo jumped up to P2 with a 1 minute and 28.156 seconds. Anderson finished the session third ahead of Webb, Barcia, Ken Roczen, and Tomac. Dean Wilson, Aaron Plessinger, and Benny Bloss rounded out the top 10.